Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I am here checking out the Call of Duty Gunfight Alpha. Yeah, really, I decided to play it for a little bit because it's free and on PlayStation 4 and my headset's good enough to not make me sound like I'm deep-throating my microphone every time I open my mouth, so figured I'd give it a shot. It's out this weekend and I will try and have this video up sometime tomorrow so that we can actually, get some use out of this video, but I decided to play it, despite what the internet memes might make you think. I do actually like Call of Duty. It probably was my first, modern first-person shooter, and by my first, I mean Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That game was brilliant, no matter what anyone says, so, I just had to try this out. It's free, didn't even need PlayStation Plus, despite the fact that I own it, so there's plenty of people to pick on, and, well, I picked it up, I had to go, and I thought it was really good. So for those of you who don't know what's going on here, Gunfight is one of their new modes they are bringing out with the Modern Warfare reboot. It is a 2 versus 2, first to 6, tiny arena sort of head-to-head shooter sort of mode, and it is really tense. The matches are insanely quick because the rules are really balanced towards having quick games. It only takes a few seconds for the overtime flag to appear in the middle, and if you capture the flag, you win. But you can also just eliminate the enemy, of course. And it makes the matches really tense because the most important thing is information, which means communicating with your teammate. There has been more than a couple of times I've played this alpha where telling my teammate where a dude was after I was dead was the best thing I could have possibly done because he knew exactly where he needed to look. And we just need to work together. Teamwork is almost essential in this game, whether it be both you pincer movement a guy like this here, although I think this is the one, yep, this is the one where I killed him with the random Semtex. I'm pretty proud of that throw, actually. But yes, teamwork is very important, whether it be things like pincer movements, or sharing information between teammates, or just covering your ass so that you can keep an eye on another flank. It works really well. Unfortunately, there's nothing like the ping system that you might see in Apex Legends that would help a non-verbal player play with a verbal player or anything like that, but, well, honestly, I can't imagine playing this without audio communication. I imagine that you would need it a lot. But yes, matches are quick, they are very, very deadly. The time to kill in this game is almost insanely short. But one thing I've found with playing this new mode is that frustration actually sets in nowhere near as quickly as you might expect because the rounds are so quick, and the fact that you've got 6 chances at the very minimum to get a win or two in makes it so that it feels like that, at least it's not your bloody fault that, well, I say it's not your bloody fault. It's not like the game's bloody fault, I should say. It's more like the lack of skill on your part is causing it. Not entirely sure what happened on this clip here. It's for some reason I got maximum ammo. I shouldn't have that much ammo. I think there's a couple of bugs that are still left to be ironed out. But, yeah. It's fast-paced. There's a lot of teamwork that needs to be done in order for this to work. And it's just really intense. I actually really approve of it. This is helped out by the fact that they've pretty much redone all the weapons. I haven't played a Call of Duty game where the weapons feel this good. They still have a lot less recoil than your traditional weaponry, because there's a Call of Duty game. You got to give them some slack. But the fact that the time to kill is so high, it definitely helps with the having to pay really close attention. I feel bad for this guy here because his teammate pretty much just left at this point. But yeah. Since the time to kill is so quick, you have to be very careful with how you do things. You need to aim very precisely, and it took me a couple of matches to get back into the swing of things, but once I had a few matches and was, not just shooting at shadows, I was doing really well. And these guns and the sound effects in particular are just, they're fantastic. They sound so deep and so satisfying to shoot. Even if you don't hit anything, just firing off the bullets is satisfying in and of itself. It's just, they're all really well done. I don't even know what my buddy was doing there, but he was looking in entirely the wrong direction. At least he got one of them, eh? But yeah, the game is incredibly satisfying to play. The guns do feel great. You do get to try out a lot of guns in this mode because they randomly swap your weapons every 2 rounds, which is an odd choice, but at the same time, it really does keep the variety up. I'm actually impressed at how well this works, because it changes the flow of battles and the flow of the map, because you might end up with like a sniper rifle and a shotgun, and one of you might decide to hang back and cover while the other one goes for the shotty. Or you could swap both of them to shotties and just fucking charge. Or you'll get something like, say, 2 RPKs and 2 rocket launchers, and you could decide, oh, let's pepper them with explosives to keep them scared and then sneak up behind them. Or mount up and take positions and open fire on them as soon as we see their heads. There are so many little techniques and strategies you can do in this mode, and it works really well. The maps are really well designed. They're more or less symmetrical, and they have some really nice hiding spots, some places to mount, some places to take cover, and it never really feels like you're out of options. There are very few situations, except maybe when you're getting teamed up on by 2 people. There's always an option. There's always somewhere to go, there's always somewhere to run, there's always an equipment to use. And they have some weird equipment too, like, sometimes they'll give you, like, grenades, flash grenades, smoke grenades, like you see here. But sometimes they'll give you some really weird stuff, like they'll give you throwing knives, molotovs, those bouncy mines that fly up in the air and explode in your face. They'll even give you, claymores, which is a really weird one, but man, you can put those claymores to some really good use if you're good at either A, determining where the enemy's going to be, or B, covering your ass and hoping they come around behind you. There are some massive strategic depths to go in here, and I really appreciate it. It also gives you an idea of what the new control system is going to be like for the new Modern Warfare, and, well, you've got your sliding, you've got your vaulting, you've got your crouching behind cover, but you also have this new thing called mounting, where you can put your gun on a flat surface and get a little bit more stability. However, it does come with a bit of risk on your end, because it puts your head right up in view, like it's up in a bloody spotlight. So all it takes is one person to take his time and just slowly peck away at your head. That's all that really needs to be done, and yeah, you don't want to do it when you've got someone who's very attentive and very patient with their trigger finger. So the game itself just feels really smooth, actually, even on the PlayStation. Well, I'm on the PlayStation 4 Pro playing with super sampling mode on, and I can't say I noticed personally the game dipping below 60 FPS. I believe there's going to be a couple of moments in this footage where the game does dip below 60 FPS, but other than that, it seems to be pretty well optimized even at this point. I mean, the game's only a couple of months out from launch, so now would be the time for the major passes in optimization, but still, it looks like it's working really well at this point, not to mention it looks bloody fantastic. The guns I could do with a little bit more customization, but this is Call of Duty. We know we're going to be able to cover them with bloody pink ponies, rainbows, and gigantic middle fingers. Not 2 seconds after launch. So, you know, that's a thing. But the environments, especially this one here, Pine, with all its greenery and just the general quality of all the destroyed objects and the basically just like everything about it. It looks fantastic. And there is one thing I appreciate. I didn't turn it off because this is a console game, and sometimes console games can give me a bit of motion sickness, and this can help, but you even have the option to turn off motion blur and film grain. Film grain, don't care about so much, but I appreciate being able to turn it off, and it's not actually on for this video. The motion blur, though, yeah, for people who hate that stuff in console games, I absolutely do appreciate it for them. They are doing really well with the options menu, actually. There's plenty of stuff to have fun with there. That was just me checking my performance. I was worried I was underacting a little bit, but no, I was actually doing alright. If I'm doing better than the other guy, well, there you go. I actually had a hilarious match just before I decided to record this video here, where one guy tried to hide in the shrubbery from me, but I just walked up on him and just drew my gun very slowly and just went bang. I wish the kill cams at the end of the round were just a little bit longer to let those moments stand out a bit. And I also appreciate a little detail where they actually make it so that the public voice chat actually turns on for everybody at the very end of the, well, not at the end of the match, but at the end of the individual rounds as well. So everyone who's watching the final kill cam can just have a bit of a chuckle at it before it goes on to the next round. Just a nice little bunch of touches here and there. And there are plenty of, like, familiar weapons as well. We've got the AUG, we've got the Desert Eagle, we've got the M4A1 with the bloody noob tube, because of course we do. And we've got a bunch of new guns as well, like the M19 pistol, which I actually really like. There is also something called a, it's not a Galil, it's something like that. It starts with G. I don't remember if there is footage of it in this video, but it is a really nice gun. They always put a sniper on it, despite the fact that it starts out in full auto. So I always put it in single and just do it in single shots and just gently watch their heads explode. It's brilliant. It's actually really good. So I am enjoying the shit out of this game. I really am. I am actually massively enjoying the beta. Here's a good use of that claymore that I was talking about. Good night, sleep tight.
Show them what we do.
I'm never lucky enough to actually hit one of them with those rocket launchers. It's mainly meant as a scare tactic, but as you'll see, this is like the one game that I actually lost, so... Man, that guy didn't have much luck. He was just pinned between the two of us. So yeah, what do I think of the Gunfight Alpha? It's really nice. If this is what the entire game is going to be like, I am probably going to have to buy it in a heartbeat, because I've heard some really good things about what they're planning to do. I mean, this is Activision after all. They have this annoying tendency to fuck it up after the game comes out, but this is still really promising. The fact that they've got a mode like this, which emphasizes Call of Duty's strengths, while minimizing some of its downsides, like the frustration. Not to mention they've got neat new ideas coming along, like massive battlefields with like 24 players aside. The fact that they've got this new gunfight mode, the fact that they've got these new weapons that feel and sound absolutely fantastic. The fact that they've even got like neat little features like this one, where you can mount on pretty much any object, whether you be picking out from the side or from, like, just, you know, when you're going over the top. Just all these little tweaks have made for a really promising Call of Duty game. I'm looking forward to the beta they're putting out next month. Hopefully they'll have more stuff in it, but other than Gunfight, but... Well, yeah, I'm still enjoying it immensely, and I'm hoping that the full game turns out to be just as satisfying as this one. Am I going to be picking up the full game? Probably, at this point. I mean, this is really, this is a very promising start. I'm definitely going to have to check out the alpha. But, I'm not the alpha, the beta, sorry. But yeah, if you feel like playing this alpha, it is available on the PlayStation 4. You don't even need PlayStation Plus to play it, which is a really nice touch, actually. Like, can you imagine that being something Sony would do? You would imagine this would be one of the most popular things to happen on the PlayStation Network for a while. Yeah, I got stunned here. I'm dead. Smack. I'm going to let the rest of this footage play out. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.